Hey everyone, thanks for watching Larson Farms. If you have not seen the first part of this video, go back and watch Equipment Tour Part 1. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. Sorry the videos got so long, but we got a lot of crap that we got to show in these videos. So appreciate watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and enjoy. Belly dump that we've had since we started building some of the bigger grain bins, because we have like 8 feet of fill. We got to dig a hole under the grain bins, whatever. It was way more cost effective to buy this than to have it custom hauled in. So yeah, we got a belly dump. It's kind of an older one and it ain't perfect shape, but it works for us since we're here by the junk pile. Everyone's got a junk pile. I can't fit through here. We gotta go around.
You just got thistles.
This is our other water trailer for spraying. There's our tracks that are supposed to be on the 790 that are still not fixed. So this is our other water trailer. This was actually our first water trailer, semi-style trailer. Just have a bunch of inductors. We put totes in here. It is plumbed with 2-inch. We put two 2-inch pumps in here that feed this 3-inch hose to the sprayer. Works pretty good. But this is our other water trailer. We had to get this one resurrected. We basically didn't use this for like 6 or 8 years, but we had to resurrect it and do some modifications to it because we bought that second top air sprayer that I'm going to show you here shortly last season, and then we needed another water trailer to keep up with it. So let's go look at that.
You don't want to talk about your junk pile?
Well, every farm has it. It's just scrap iron. That scrap iron's worth nothing right now, pretty much. Like, I don't know, 40, 60 bucks a ton or something. So it's better off just sitting here, but we might have to get rid of it. It's consuming too much area and it's pretty ugly. Have a bunch of crap augers and leftover stuff from when they built the shop. This is kind of where our Bobcat and loader attachments hang out at. So basically right here we've got ourselves an old rock trailer that we sometimes hand pick rocks and use for other miscellaneous jobs. We got a box scraper. We've got an LT trailer on a running gear 4-place snowmobile trailer. Here is our red top air sprayer. We pull this one behind the Cat tractor, which is hooked up to the green sprayer right now, because the green sprayer is what we use in corn, chemicals, and the tractor that pulls the green sprayer is on the bean planter, if you're following all this. So the Cat tractor will get unhooked, put on this one. The bean planter tractor, the 8430, will get put on the green sprayer. But this is our top air 120-foot boom, 2,400 gallon tank, on tracks, steerable hitch, so it follows wherever your tractor goes, so you only have one set of tracks through your field. We love these things. I know I addressed why we like these more than a self-propelled in, what was it, episode 3 of this spring maybe? I don't know, something about spraying. I talked a lot more about these when I was out with it. Here's the old 5th wheel grain trailer. It used to have sides on it. We made it into a flatbed. We used to have a seed tender on it, but it's just more or less a flatbed gooseneck trailer that we use for miscellaneous jobs about once or twice a year. Tires for the 9870, so if we take the tracks off, these 710 tires will be going back on. And then here's one of them things that should never bought. We never really use it, and we don't sell it yet because we never finished the job that we originally purchased it for. But it is a 91 International truck with a Big John 90-inch tree spade on it. We had a tree line out in a field. We wanted to move the trees home, so we moved like 40 trees back here around the yard, moved some to my house, Dad's house, and then it got too wet, ran out of time, and there's still like 50 trees out in the field that just have not gotten to. Here's our MT755 tractor. This one, all this tractor does is spray. This is all, it's dedicated to spraying. Pre-emerge, post-emerge, fungicides on beans, stuff like that. But that's the other green sprayer. They are twin sprayers. They're the same exact sprayer, same brand, everything. One's just red, one's green. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. So here is our Kenworth '89. This is a T600 body style. Anyways, this was the first semi that they actually purchased in maybe the early 2000s. I'm not sure. This pulls the fertilizer tender in the fall, the seed tender in the spring. So this is a seed tender that we use for corn. Two different bins that Dad built this thing basically back many years ago. This is what used to be on that old grain trailer. And then we're like, hey, we had this bale trailer. Like I said, we quit raising wheat, so we didn't need this for bales anymore. So let's build it into our seed tender trailer. The only bad thing is it's like 53 feet long, super low to the ground, and it's hard to maneuver around the countryside. This is sagged down, obviously. Seed tender there, liquid fertilizer here. We do have a diesel tank on here for filling on the tractor because he burns so much fuel now. He can only make it till 6 o'clock because he works the poor tractor to death. You didn't hear that from me. That brings us to our DB60 36-row 20-inch bean planter. This planter, all it does is plant beans. 20-inch beans, 30-inch corn. You've seen the high-speed planter. This is not a high-speed planter. This is just a stock John Deere planter for the most part. And there's the 8430, what we call the T-Track. We hate that tractor. It is so rough riding and the wheel slips inside of the track, but we own it and can't afford to trade for anything newer or better, so that's what we have. That is what pulls the green top air sprayer in the summertime and the DB60 in springtime, and in the fall that goes on a 7-shank ripper. And that brings us to our service truck. Top kit, cat engine in it, 6-speed manual transmission. Yes, it's 2 Chevy doors or GMC doors. I do not know who built that. It wasn't us. We bought it this way. It used to be an old railroad truck, would service the railroad. We used to have running gear that would come down on it and run down the railroad tracks. We purchased it. We have diesel fuel aboard. I think roughly 500 gallons it'll hold, or 450, something like that. So we can pump fuel and air. The air comes straight off the air compressor from the engine that controls brakes, everything. So it ain't a fast air. Don't pump a lot of air, but it does what we need it to do as of now anyways. Lights, just extra compartments. This one is just more so lubes and grease guns and stuff like that, you know. Lubes. Def tank for diesel exhaust fluid right there. Tools aboard. Just got this mounted in here a couple years ago. We just got hammers, just the basic stuff. We do take a lot of this out in the winter time and summertime because a lot of the stuff that's in here, as far as like impact guns and stuff, are from the shop, but we want them on board in the spring and the fall. It does have a knuckle boom on here, which is controlled with a corded remote. Nothing too fancy, but it gets the job done. More compartments where we can put our torch tanks. We normally don't in the spring, sometimes more so in the fall for torching projects. Huge back seat, lots of room for all the extra credit jobs, naps and stuff, you know.
Naps.
I don't know what you were thinking about. Gets the job done. She's a bit under horsepowered for pulling this seed tender, but this is our under for seed runner 5000. This tender is maybe more so used for co-ops that will deliver seed out to people. This thing will last about 1 day of planting. I can plant about 450 acres a day with our soybean planter. That's about all the seed you're gonna get in this thing. Like if you fill it level, and I start in the morning, I'll plant this out by the end of the day. The next morning, guys go and get more seed. Works out great. I would not want anything smaller than that, but it is a heck of a load for this truck. I think it holds about 26,000 pounds of soybeans, depending seed size. Here is our newest semi. This is a 2001 379 Peterbilt. Same again, like 298 or 295 wheelbase. Third axle on it, 475 or 500 horsepower. Pulls our 50-foot tri-axle trailer, so legally we can haul 97,500 pounds with it. This is the truck that pretty much hauls most of our grain. Most of the time we just use this truck. During the fall we do have two other semi-hopper bottoms, a Wilson and another Timothy trailer, but not a tri-axle. But this is about all this truck does, is pull that trailer. It doesn't pull anything else, or it could, but we don't use it for anything else. Here's our little dump truck. Little Dumpy. This is what we call Dumpy. He's just a little guy. You gotta treat him nice. He's sometimes grumpy, but he's a nice little unit. We use it to pull our what we call backhoe trailer. It's just a pintle hitch trailer also. We haul the Bobcat, the bulldozer, backhoe on this trailer. Works really nice. So this is I think it's a 93 Peterbilt. This was our second semi that we had ever bought. It is what we call Little Pete. Not a very big truck, not too much horsepower, but he gets the job done. In the spring, this pulls the fertilizer trailer. In the fall, it pulls a grain hopper. And in the summertime, it'll pull a water trailer, or all the time pulls this lowboy trailer that we haul our excavator on, which I don't know if we'll get in this video or not, because that's out in a field along with our Bobcat. So we got a 320 excavator, cat excavator. That's what we haul on this thing, plus our payloader if we need to move that around. It's not a very fancy trailer, but it needs to be hooked up to this truck because it has rails for sliding the neck up on, welded to the frame rails. So that's why this truck always gets to pull this trailer. 5-minute break for a Dr. Pepper and some chips. You're getting burnt out, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'll continue on by myself then. So here is our 1991 pickup. This was the second pickup that the farm ever owned, still owns, and it is in mint shape. 91 3/4 ton Chevrolet. So this is just kind of, as you can see, our tile trailer pulls around a bunch of stuff, head trailers, stuff like that. Just kind of the farm truck that we try to keep in mint shape. Tile trailer, little Bobcat 440B. They bought that for cleaning hog barns back in the day. Most handiest thing ever. We use that all the time. 4-wheeler and our forklift, 480B. Very handy. We don't own a forklift that's like one of them really nice, convenient, small, stay on cement ones. This is what we have. We love it. I would like to have one of those little forklifts for being on the cement, and just a lot easier to use and smaller, would fit around better. But I could not imagine farming without this big thing for pulling equipment around, moving stuff like that. That gets used a ton. The head shed. We're at the head shed.
Oh.
Look at the head shed. Two 612Cs. One's a 2012 and one's a 2014, right? What?
I believe so.
Putting your hoodie on, cover up your girlish figure. Then we have two 635Fs. One is 09 and 12, I think. And the 09 or 2010, something like that, we are trying to get rid of because we just bought the 45-foot drapers. So see if somebody wants one of those. In good shape, but we just don't have a combine. We traded 2 combines off for 1 combine, so we went from 3 to 2, and now we're trying to get rid of stuff. But we do run 2 12-row corn heads in the fall. 2 grain carts. Here's our second grain cart. This one is a J&M 1326. Roughly holds maybe 1,100 bushels. Supposed to hold 1,300, but they always underrate them or overrate them. Overrate them. Walking tandems, because before we purchased this grain cart, we were still chopping corn stalks with this 8-row. What's it called? Stock chopper? This is a stock shredder, stock chopper. Basically now the corn heads nowadays, most of them chop the stalks as it gets pulled through the corn head. Before 2010 is the first year that we got a chopping corn head. So in 09 we were still using this, and I think we got this cart in 08, so that's why we have the walking tandems, because we needed to follow the rows with it. Now it's a major pain in the butt because they don't like mud, and since we've been dealing with mud every year, this cart is limited on where it can go. We pull this one with the 450 quad track. The other 1,500 bushel cart gets pulled with the 600 quad track. What are you doing?
What's behind you?
This is a Balzer 4200 liquid manure spreader. Liquid, what do you call it?
A vacuum tank.
Vacuum tank. So
Vacuum
that's what we
tank.
use at our own personal facility when we raised hogs. And we keep it because?
You never know. It's paid for. Maybe the only thing I have that is paid
Yeah,
for.
that's not...
Maybe there's one more. There's maybe one more payment.
Is it coming down on us? Yeah, this is the shed that we rent, which is close to the farm.
Dad sucked the trees that are growing up around the outside. The other vacuum tank that used to be on here from the original got so rusty that Dad collapsed it. So it was about this tall, the whole thing collapsed. Center went down, two ends stayed up. He said it really threw him in the cab when it went.
So that's our head shed that we're renting from a neighbor.
Bounce is in there yet.
Yeah. He's been poisoning mice here, the owner of the property, like crazy, right?
Yeah.
How many bars of poison have they eaten?
There's a lot of empty bags in there.
So it's exceptionally more windy at this yard.
It's terrible. The winds, look at him.
What's going on here?
We've reached a tornado.
More dandelions.
Douglas,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
checking. Little corns are coming out of the ground. They got damaged by some frost. Let's show them some. Let's find some frost damaged ones. Like right here. See the corn leaves? It didn't kill it, but it's been damaged. There's some out here that are totally dead, but they should regrow from the root. From the root, yes, is what I've been told. But I don't know why there's so many. Why is there gaps? Oh, here's one that's just coming through right here. They're supposed to be every 6 inches apart, just like this. So we should have one, if not two, right in this area. Which
Just leave him alone.
he's not there for some reason. I don't know. So a lot of the corn laid in somewhat dry dirt this spring, so they didn't emerging the best because we haven't had really a good soaking rain. We were supposed to get 3/4 of an inch, which turned into a half a tenth maybe. So didn't do nothing. So this is our chisel plow. This is what Dad was talking about, where we need to do something different with our bean stubble. So basically what this is out here, this is going to be corn now, but bean stubble, it was so trashy this spring. This thing didn't cut it up, didn't cover it up. We gotta try something different. I don't know what or how we're gonna afford it with 260 corn. We really would like to try some sort of disc tool, or like Dad was saying with a summer's disc. Basically, a disc chisel is disc like this on the front of a chisel plow like that. But this is our 32-foot John Deere 2210 chisel plow. Then we've got a 5-shank 2700 ripper here, 30-inch spacing on the ripper points. This one is what the 8520 pulls. The last 2 falls, we hooked quad tracks up to them and drug them through the mud because the little tractors couldn't pull them, and we could not pull our big 870, so we just drug these behind quad tracks, and it was a mess. 7-shank ripper, so we pulled behind the 8430 when it's decent conditions, right?
Yeah, and they're so cheap now to buy that you just start buying them for $7,000 a piece. If you see them on an auction, buy them.
Yep.
Now here were the days, hours I say, spent
Plows.
And for those of you that have put your hour in on one of them, you know what I'm talking about. Around in a circle, then the other way.
Why do we keep them?
Oh, they're great for special projects.
Special projects as in?
CRP plowing up and
Yeah, so
ditch making,
2
whatever.
falls ago, we were so behind on tillage, and it was so wet, and it was freezing, gonna start freezing, so we pulled everything out of the sheds. We had the 2700s going, we had the 870 going, and then they hooked on to the plows and started plowing.
And put some new tires on a couple of hoses.
They did like, what, 80 acres? And boy did we pay for it that fall because it was so soft out there and muddy. Made for a good YouTube video, but that was about it.
If you moldboard plow the next spring, if you have a wet spring, it's so soft out there because the plows literally turn it over, do a good job coverage, and then it gets like a soup bowl. So the rippers do a lot better job. You don't have a sinking issue.
Here is our 870, 26-foot 870. We pull it behind the 600 number 1, pretty much our main tillage for corn ground. There's another plow.
That was also bought brand new when Dad bought his 1086.
And now there's an 8-inch tree growing through it.
I killed that though with the spray.
You're ready to go now. Look at you. We were at an auction sale looking for another quad track before we bought this last quad track. And well, anyways, the quad track went for way too much money. And we ended up staying at the sale because we were looking at this thing. Hey, get me. Yep. And what was it?
It was a buy.
It was like $7,000, and we're standing there. It's like, okay, we're in. So we started bidding, and we ended up getting it for like what, $12,500? $12,500. So we got a land scraper now to do ditch work and other random projects. We've owned it for 2 years, have not been able to use it because it's been so wet in the fields, but maybe this fall. Nice watch.
Boy, am I glad I'm not a deer.
So anyways, our tile software, SD Tile, they make another program named SD Drain. That's what will be going on there, and it will be GPS guided for ditch cleaning. There is the biggest junk pile outfit.
It is not. It's
Junk.
just fine.
I hate this thing.
You don't know. You don't know how bad it is when you don't have this. The only problem is you have to have good black dirt, no residue. It don't like corn stalks. Here, come over here. I'll show you what I grew up with. There was the day. I used to put the 1086 into low, which was maybe 1 mile an hour, low or maybe slower. Stick it in the gear, jump out of the cab, and walk around behind this, and wherever the tractor drove, I walked behind throwing rocks. It's the old Melrow rock picker, and for those of you once again that know, it's the dual cylinder lift. That's good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Randy actually lived here when he first got married. Obviously it's unlivable now, but we still use the yard for storing stuff. Some sheds up here. We store all our tile. As you can see, look at all the tile.
The man that lived here was a heck of a farmer. He was.
He's the reason you got into farming.
I was able to rent his farm, and that's where we got the start of it. Yep.
There's our 4230. Yeah, 4230 hydraulic front wheel assist. I think it's a somewhat rare thing to find. And we got 2 of them. Well, a 4640 and a 4640 has hydraulic front wheel assist, and the 4230 does too. Pretty rare thing, right?
Yes, that's a rarity.
Rarity.
They don't really help all that much. They're a helper, but not a getter-outer.
This is just a shed full of stuff we don't use, basically.
You always want to house the stuff you don't use and don't plan on ever using again, and take up shed space for that, because that's important.
This is all of the hog stuff. Old grinder mixer, mirror spreader.
Here's the sprayer that I used with the 2010, but that's the upgraded version because we took off the 47-foot booms and we put on the 60-foot Bloomhart booms.
Believe it or not, we still use it. Old baler that we don't use. We do use this little woods ditch mower. What was that? What was that?
She's loose.
Oh my God. I thought someone was shooting at
I
us.
thought the coon was coming back.
That was terrifying.
That feed mill, feed grinder, I forget how many thousands of bushels of corn, what was it? A year we ground. I'm gonna think on that. I think it was like, let me think. I'm thinking.
You figure it out yet?
I think it's 25,000 bushels, 25 to 30,000 bushels a year. That thing ground.
Times how many years?
30 years times 25,000. It'd be more than
750,000 bushels.
I would say 700 to a million bushels went through that old Gale. It's a Gale 95 with a scale.
Really?
And an extension on the auger too, yeah. You can do it. Push. Careful. Careful. Oh, there's another auxiliary fuel tank for a 4230. Oh, I didn't know these were in here.
Yeah, I put stuff everywhere. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff that we don't use anymore.
12-row Case IH cultivator.
We got 2 of them.
Olatana motor off a swather. I was going to build a pony motor, but didn't get that far.
Why does it smell so weird in here?
Because that's bat manure. Look at that.
Oh, the stuff that kills people?
I don't know.
Yeah, guano, I think is the word. Guano.
Well,
Look out! That was epic.
I'm sorry, Douglas.
put my hood up if we're going to act like that.
So basically this is our 2 just grain hoppers. We only have 3 grain hoppers, 1 straight truck that we haul with during the fall. When it works, 3 trucks, 3 drivers, never stop moving pretty much, right?
All right, there's my bumper off my pickup. That was a good one. Look out for the tangled mess of extension cords here.
Look at this foundation here. It is so shot. High quality junk.
Why is it off the foundation?
Snake!
Why? Don't! You know I hate them.
Oh my god.
He sure thinks he's funny, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. As Clint Eastwood would say, you're a legend in your own mind. Blackbirds.
Been digging.
They dig down and they eat the kernel. There's another one.
It's nice of them.
You can always tell they got little round holes.
You know what?
Look at.
What?
There's one. There's one.
Well, they've
There's one.
been
There's
going nuts
one.
here.
I thought I remember it looking better than this.
This is another sprayer that we had on the back of the 4640, right?
Yeah, this is the 90-footer.
We should sell it, but I don't think people really use these anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what it's worth. I know what I paid for it. Here's how my dad crushed his fingers so his fingernail don't grow right anymore.
Old drag.
Just gotta know what you're doing. This digger here is what I started with. It's 24 foot.
No, it wasn't 24.
Well, it was 16 and a half, but then we added on them wings there and made her into a 24 foot. 1086 had all she could do, pull it. Many trips back and forth.
Then this cultivator here we had on the 4230 and it would overheat it.
Yeah, that was a little too much, but it worked.
Thanks for watching this video today, guys. I know a lot of you have been wanting to see this video, and I know it's extremely long. Not sure how she's gonna edit it all up to look, but could be 2 videos, could be 1, but thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.
I already said that.
I haven't heard you talk yet.
There, I said it.
Push the thumbs down button twice.
Am I done now? I don't like this, you know.
Thanks for watching.